Hey guys, today I wanted to make a short video regarding content creation ideas. Okay. Um, I'm not going to sit here and give you the ideas, but I want to give you a little bit of a mental framework for creating ideas for whatever content it is you're trying to produce, right? This doesn't really depend on, this is kind of outside of industry or niche. It doesn't really matter if you're an individual influencer or if you're working for a company trying to decide, okay, how should we make better quality content for our Instagram or TikTok. Okay. And what I'm going to say is a little bit broad, but this is how I like to frame it in my own mind. And with different brands I've worked with over the years, I'm always referring to this, and I've always found that this stands true. It doesn't mean that if you follow this rule, you're going to have viral content every time or something. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. It's more making sure that you're creating content that has quality. And this is not about what resolution should it be or transitions. It's not about the technical side of things, right? It's about the conceptual side of the content, the ideas. Is there red meat inside your content, right? Is there value inside your content? And the three check boxes, this is kind of like the 3 points, three check boxes that I always use. And you need to check one of them. It's not about checking more being better or something. It's just that you need to check one of these boxes, right? Your content either needs to be entertaining, right? It needs to be informational or slash educational. You could word it either way, or it needs to be motivational slash inspirational, right? So what I mean is if you're sitting down, let's say you are a like individual content creator and you're creating running content. Okay. You have different, like, yeah, should you just do a vlog? Should you just do random videos or pictures? Like, what should you make, right? And I think if you sit down and look at those three boxes, okay, we have entertainment, we have educational, and we have motivational. Those are the three boxes. And you say, okay, I'm going to start plugging in ideas that fit each of these, right? Let's say you're a runner. Informational could be a how-to video. It could be these are my favorite running shoes. This is my favorite gear, and here's why. Okay. Motivational could be posts that are videos where you're talking about your hard days, you're sharing a story, you're encouraging, you're maybe just posting a video with a motivational song and a motivational quote on it, right? And then entertainment could just be a really cool vlog of a race you did showing beautiful scenery or whatever it is. So I don't mean that any one of these is better than the other. It totally depends on your niche and also what you're good at, because the days of cheating the system are gone and the expectations are high for people consuming content, right? You expect good videos. If it's educational, you expect real education and real insight. But I think people get lost when they're just trying to think of ideas, and then they end up just loosely thinking of ideas and coming up with whatever. But I think if you can mentally frame it and you can create these three buckets in your head, and you start filling these three buckets with ideas and then creating the content, it's going to point you much more in the right direction than if you're just creating whatever content kind of comes to you in the moment. Now, I would say if you're just vlogging and that is your YouTube channel or that is your content, just daily vlogs, okay, don't overthink it. Just keep vlogging. And the likelihood, especially if you have a growing vlog, you're probably providing one, if not more, of these three things anyways, right? So it's not about changing your entire strategy. It's about starting with this framework. If you feel like you're starting with a blank slate or you're having a hard time coming up with ideas, or if you're already pumping out a lot of videos, maybe run your strategy kind of through the filter of this framework and see if that helps you be a little more spot on or a little more, yeah, I guess a little more structured with the type of content you're producing. And if you want to get, be nerdy about it, some of you like to really dig into your analytics. This will also allow you, when you're kind of splitting it by these buckets, to figure out what's creating the most engagement and what's creating different types of engagement. For example, educational. Let's take the running shoe example I mentioned before, right? You're probably going to have a lot of saves on that because you have a lot of people researching and shopping these shoes. So they're going to save, maybe they're going to share this content. Whereas maybe if you're doing something inspirational or motivational and it's some story or some injury you overcame, whatever it is, you might have a lot more comments of people saying, sharing similar stories or something like that. But just to measure, which of these creates which effects and which resonates with your audience, and also which one resonates with you, what comes naturally, I think is huge. And you don't need to hyperanalyze this, but just that general framing and that general kind of trickle down structure of these three boxes, hopefully will come in handy for some of you guys that are wanting to expand your thinking or maybe feel like you're running out of ideas. So let me know in the comments if this helped at all. And until the next time, baby.